Hey there, YouTuber fam. Jonny Cashflow here. Hope you guys are doing awesome. I am here today to talk about the causes of the broken system. I talk about this in my book, Cashflow Manifesto, I wrote 5 years ago. And, you know, I just want to share these 7 causes with you. I believe it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I counted correctly. These 7 causes of a broken system, and I'll go through the 7 causes. And I do want to preface with saying that we want to look at the causes of the broken system, not to say, oh, things are hopeless, there's nothing we can do, the man is against us, and, just kind of throw our hands up on that attitude. Instead, we want to understand the system so that we can operate within it and attain our own financial independence, so that we're not trapped by the problems in the system that currently exist. So let's jump right into it. Starting with a quote from my boy Darren Hardy from The Compound Effect. If you haven't read it, it's exceptional. But complacency has impacted all great empires. People get to a certain level of success and get complacent. So what caused the defunct system? The first thing I want to talk about is the four-eyed monster. Very apropos for Halloween, it's the four-eyed monster. There is a four-eyed monster living under your house. What is it? It's inflation, income tax, insurance, and interest rate. Get it? Four-eyed monster? Okay. These 4 factors are why it feels like you are in a hamster wheel and will struggle to ever make enough money in the hours that you are working to be able to stop working solely from the income of your day job. Imagine being a millionaire, but due to the four-eyed monster, you're still unable to pay your bills. If cash is king, then the king is no match for this monster. Truly, cash flow is king. So it's the whole idea that, especially when you're just trading your time for money, it's going to be impossible to beat out this four-eyed monster. The inflation, income tax, insurance, and interest that you're always going to be paying is always going to exponentially outpace the income that you're ever able to make in most jobs, trading your time for money. And that's why I encourage people, and I have found ways to leverage myself, leverage my time based on my results. I do this in real estate, I do this in recruiting, where it doesn't necessarily matter how much time I'm putting in a search or in lining up a candidate, getting a contractor hired, getting a real estate deal completed. I'm able to leverage my efforts and therefore make more income than just by trading your time for money in most standard positions. So that's the concept of the four-eyed monster. Next is the power of the penny. So it's a simple question. If you had the choice between $3 million today or 1 cent doubled for a month, and let's say it's 31 days, let's say it's October, it's Halloween, right? So it's 31 days in October, what would you choose? And most people, most employed people, which is most people, would say, give me the cash, I want that $3 million, I want that nice windfall, I'm buying a condo on the beach. But if you actually think about it before you go and close on that condo, then you'll realize on the 31st day that penny will have doubled and doubled and doubled to over $10.7 million. Now the answer is obvious, you want that penny that doubles for 31 days. But then again, what if it was actually 31 months that it took to get there? Would you have the patience to wait the 3 years for the extra $7 million? Most likely, if you have a job, the answer is no, because you could really use that $3 million now. And, full disclosure, I have a job. Nothing wrong with having a job, but while having a job, also be pursuing financial freedom, or have a job that helps facilitate that financial freedom by leveraging your results instead of just trading your time for money. Okay, I digress. That question and analogy which Darren Hardy discusses in The Compound Effect is a critical difference between the financially wealthy and the financially struggling. They think different. As an employee, I have more of a microwave mentality of needing some paycheck every 2 weeks, as opposed to a wealth builder who always thinks in terms of 3, 5, and 10-year returns. I do not in any way minimize the fact that everyone is born into different circumstances and many people have much less to overcome to build wealth, but my point is that it is simply a difference in mentality which can be taught. I once heard someone say, if you evenly distributed all the money and wealth in the world to all of the world, everyone would be back to a similar situation within 10 years. And while that may be an exaggeration, I do agree that there is a certain mindset which builds and sustains wealth, which I hope you will start to adopt as you progress through this manifesto. So, third cause of the broken system, scarcity mindset. Are y'all still with me? It gets better. Stay with me. Stay focused. It gets juicy. It gets juicy. I get into the meat and potatoes. But I will say, just briefly, I've been going through the problems in the solution in the system. This is the causes, and then when we really get to the solutions is really where we'll get granular and talk about a lot of the details. But understanding these causes is crucial to understand what could be some potential solutions for you, because ultimately, in the solutions that we'll provide, it will be determinant a lot on your skills as an entrepreneur or your risk tolerance as an investor in terms of what actually makes sense for you. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I think is missed in a lot of like rah-rah sis boom bah on YouTube about financial education is like, yes, we're all building wealth, that's great, we're all finding avenues to make our money through different, whether it's real estate or investments or different sales opportunities or resale or e-commerce or ClickFunnels, whatever we're doing in order to build that wealth and grow it to a level that it can sustain ourselves and ideally become a generational thing.
Hi, Daddy.
Funny. Yes, my love. Aria's Adventures, ladies and gentlemen, she has joined. She's joined Jonny Cashflow.
Daddy.
What up, girl? How you doing? I was just talking about generational wealth.
Can you put me to sleep?
Oh, I gotta put you to sleep.
Not right now, but.
Because
I want to stay up.
You're missing the hustle here. See, her hustle is, you think, oh, it's so sweet. She wants. Don't mess up my framing. It took me 3 hours to get it right.
I'm not gonna mess with it.
This girl, you think it's so sweet because, oh, you think she wants me to put her to bed. And she does. But she wants me to put her to bed in 2 hours so that she can stay up and play Roblox until 11 at night. Is that correct? Is that accurate?
No, play with my slime. I'm not on my tablet.
Oh, well, at least you're not on your tablet. That's good. Oh, and it wouldn't be 2 hours. 2 hours from now is 12:30, so you're trying to stay up. But, okay, all right.
Yay! Best daddy ever.
You know I'll succumb. All right. And that has been Aria's Adventures cameo. That's good. That's good. I'll get some views on that. I'm sure that'll be fun. I'm definitely keeping that. Not editing any of that. All right. Anyways, like I was saying, I told you it was going to get better. All right. So number 3. Here we go. Scarcity mindset. You wake up late. You didn't get enough sleep. And do not have enough time to get to work. All day we flood our minds with the illusion of scarcity, much like we do in economics. In the 1960s, Paul Ehrlich predicted the population bomb. This is a quote. "The battle to feed all humanity is over. In the 1970s, hundreds of millions of people are going to starve. Nothing can prevent a substantial increase in the death rate. Since that time, the planet's population has more than doubled to over, I think we've broken 8 billion people now. And these are people who are, quote, healthier, wealthier, and better fed than the people in 1968, according to economist Paul Zane Pilzer. In Pilzer's book, God Wants You to Be Rich, he describes his cornucopian theory of economics, which proposes that scarcity is, quote, an erroneous economic belief due to our ability to tap natural resources. One example is that fuel that powers our cars, which was previously unavailable due to our technological capability. Pilzer explains his belief that, quote, our economic theories are based on outdated concepts of scarce resources and technological stability as opposed to an ever-increasing abundance due to technological advances. Excuse me, guys, did you hear that, okay? If you haven't read God Wants You to Be Rich, it's a fantastic book, okay? And he is emphasizing that our economic theories are based on outdated concepts of scarce resources and technological stability as opposed to an ever-increasing abundance due to technological advances. Can I get an amen? During the Great Depression, John Maynard Keynes envisioned that advancing technology would lower the cost of producing goods to the point that everyone could afford luxuries. You can see that in something as simple as your ability to have a push-start engine feature on your Hyundai Sonata, when a decade before that was only available to luxury drivers. The limiting belief of scarcity perpetuates the belief that only a select few can be successful, because if resources are limited, then I need someone to have less for me to have more. Yet if you instead believe that technology and new business models can create abundance, then the whole of humanity has the capacity to grow wealth. The problem is that the limiting belief of scarcity ignores our greatest natural resource, which is human ingenuity. Number 4, fear of failure. There are so many people in the world that have the gumption to there are so few people in the world that have the gumption to bring their dreams to reality that people will take that as an example of how unlikely it is to succeed at whatever your dream is. My dream since I was 22 was to make 6 figures, live anywhere I want in the country or the world, and not need a day job. But by pursuing that ambition, I am putting myself out there to fall short of that goal. The problem is that the fear of failure kills more dreams than failure ever has. Don't let your fears outweigh your dreams. It is better to have valiantly failed at an endeavor than to let fear hold you back from ever attempting your dreams. Additionally, just because someone has fallen short of their expectations in the past, they establish limiting beliefs for their ability to succeed in the future. You do not need to be a prisoner of the past. The truth is that you are not